Kedapo, Kirikeni mo.
Mena Yediebo, why Kirikeni me?
Welcome back to another lesson.
You are Bible thinking. Yedapo Kirikeni mo. Mingbawa dawabia yane. Okwein poko. Making Okwein be. Stress marks or diacritics. Menam Okwein be. Kirikeni Okwein be. Okwein poko. Okwein poko literally means the tone of voice, because our language is a tonal language. So it's very important to get the right tone to demonstrate the meaning of the word. We will start with the alphabet from the beginning. Tatariye, ane, A, and the sound for A in Kirikeni Okwein is A. Ame, that's Gani, Iwobian, and Ganigani, and Kiri Borobia. So the tone for A can rise or fall. So we use a diacritic, a rising diacritic, when the tone is rising, and a falling one when the tone is low. For example, ama, ama, both the A at the beginning and A at the end are rising, so the diacritic on top will be rising. An example of a falling diacritic using A again would be aba. That means shoulders. Aba. The diacritics fall on the A vowel. We will take another letter. B. B. That's letter B in English. In Kirikeni Okwein, we have two sounds for that. These don't have rising or falling diacritics. They just have, they're denoted by a dot under the letter. So when there's no dot under the B, under letter B, it is a B sound. For example, bon, bon and a B in English. The letter N at the end of bon is silent. So it's an N that has a circumflex or a dash above it, demonstrating or denoting that it is a silent N. The B with a dot. An example of that is bara. Bara. Bara is the word for hand. Bara. Then we can look at the letter C. In Kirikeni Okwein, we don't have C, but we have CH. Chi. Chi. An example of that is chain. Chain. Again, the N at the end of this word has a dash or a circumflex above it, denoting that it is a silent N. Then we look at letter D next. D in Kirikeni Okwein has two sounds, D and Kanika, D. example of D is dede, meaning morning. An example of this, the one with a dot under it, is dabo. Dabo. Dabo means father. Letter E, Kirikeni Okwein, is A. It can also be E. We have two sounds for the vowel E. Our two vowel sounds are A and E. When it is E, it has the letter has a dot under it. So we'll look for a rising A and a fallen A. Then we'll look for a rising E and a falling E sound. Ene is the word for rain. The vowel sound A has diacritics that are fallen. Ene, the word for day, has rising diacritics on the A sound. So an example of rising A is ene, and an example of a fallen one is ene, as in rain. E is the other sound, the second sound for letter E. E has a dot under it, and a rising example of E is ere, ere, and that has rising diacritics, ere, meaning name. Let's look for an example of a fallen sound. An example of falling diacritics on the air sound would be a simple word like that is the word for no. The diacritics on the air are fallen. We'll now go for the vowel sound E in Kirikeni Okwein. E is one of the sounds for letter I in English. In Kirikeni Okwein, it's either E or A. So we have E. An example of E would be iri, iri. That's the word for thread. And the vowel sound, the diacritic on the iri are fallen. Iri. An example of rising diacritic on the same vowel sound, E, would be iri, iri. That is as in missing your way. Missing, iri. Then the other sound for I in Kirikeni Okwein is A. Ere, ere. The diacritics are rising on both A sounds. Ere, and that means you. That's first person singular, you. Ere. And a fallen example of diacritic on the A sound would be ere, ere. Ere is myself or I. So we have first person singular ere and second person singular ere with a rising sound. Then we go to the next vowel sound, O. In Kirikeni Okwein, we have two sounds for the letter O. We have O for O, and we also have O. And when it's O, there's a dot under the O. So we have O and O. Let's look for an example of O. Olo, olo. The vowel, the diacritics marks on olo are falling, both O at the beginning and O at the end. Olo. The diacritics are falling. An example of rising diacritics on the O sound would be oloko, oloko, all rising on the O. And that's the word for law, oloko. So we have rising, oloko, fallen, olo. Let's look for an example of or, law, both diacritics are rising. Law means cough. Law, cough. And they're both rising. Miebaka. On that note, we will end.